Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So in 2025, the Virginia governor election will be taking place in November. This is expected to be a very close election, as this will be the first major election after Donald Trump's 2024 election victory, and typically the off-year governor elections like Virginia and New Jersey, the year after the presidential election, is usually a repudiation of the incumbent's president administration. So we're expecting the Virginia election to be very close. For today's video, I wanted to showcase a few counties in Northern Virginia and talk about their importance and how they very well may be choosing who the next governor of the state of Virginia is. Right now, the leading candidates for governor in Virginia are the Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. As I mentioned, she's the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. On the Democratic side of things, Abigail Spanberger, a former U.S. representative from Virginia's 7th Congressional District, is seen as the leading Democratic candidate. What's interesting, actually, Spanberger and Sears are both from the same part of Virginia and the surrounding Norfolk area. So that's interesting. But this is Virginia, and I want to show you something very interesting. In 2024, Vice President Kamala Harris, at the time, now former Vice President Kamala Harris, won the state of Virginia by 6 points against Donald Trump. With Trump being at the top of the ballot, this is one of the closest presidential elections with Trump at the top of the ballot since 2016, but it was still a 6-point Democratic win. And I want to show one area in particular that's very important to which candidate wins and loses in Virginia. Harris got about 2.3 million votes. Trump got about 2 million votes. So roughly 300,000 votes separating Trump and Harris in the state of Virginia. I'm going to zoom in and show you some counties up here in the northern DC suburbs. These 3 counties right here, Loudoun County, Prince William County, and Fairfax County, are some of the most important counties in the entire state of Virginia due to how many people live in them and how important they are when it comes to winning elections. So let me show you what I mean by this. Loudoun County right here, this county's outside. This is where Washington, D.C. is. A lot of people in the early 2000s started moving to the Washington, D.C. area, a lot of them having government jobs and such, and they started moving into the surrounding Fairfax County, Prince William County, and Loudoun County and commuting to work into D.C. So the population growth in these 3 counties have been huge. And according to Virginia-demographics.com, Fairfax County is the largest county in the state of Virginia at population 1.1 million. The only county in the state of Virginia that has 1 million people or more living in the county. Number 2 is Prince William County, which is right outside, and Loudoun County is number 4. So 3 of the top 4 counties in Virginia by population are all these northern DC suburbs, and only the 3rd county separating it is the Virginia Beach area in the southeastern part of the state. But these 3 counties, add up for around 2 million people living in Northern Virginia. And in the 2024 presidential election, Loudoun County voted for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump 57% to 40%. A win of about 30,000 votes margin for Harris here. So about 30,000 vote difference. And again, remember, Harris only won statewide by under 300,000. About 260,000 votes or so. 30,000 of those votes came from Loudoun County. Prince William County. Again, this is, I believe, the 2nd largest county, was Fairfax. Loudoun was 4th. Prince William was 2. Prince William, 2nd largest county in the state. Harris got 58%, Trump got 40%. Harris won here by about 40,000 votes, 131 to 90. So about 40,000 votes separating Trump and Harris and Prince William. So take the 30,000 here, 40,000 here, about 70,000 votes of Harris's victory of the 260,000 came out of these 2 counties. But now, let's look at Fairfax County. This is very big. Fairfax County, Kamala Harris won 66% to Trump's 31%. 386,000 to Trump's 181,000. So what do you see here? This was a win for Harris over Trump of about 205,000 votes. So again, I told you, Harris won statewide in Virginia by about 260,000, 270,000 votes. Loudoun County and Prince William County added up for about 207,000 or about 70,000 votes, right? 70,000 votes from these 2 counties. Fairfax was the other 206,000. those added up for about almost 280,000 votes margin of victory for Harris over Trump. So you may be thinking, okay, well, why did Harris defeat Donald Trump in the state of Virginia? It happened in these three counties. There are so many people living in these three counties, the margin of victory of the votes were enough for Harris to win a very close election over Donald Trump in the state, which means essentially, if these three counties were not in Virginia, the state essentially would have been tied, and maybe even Donald Trump would have eked out a win by a few thousands of votes. But these three counties single-handedly turned a tilt Trump victory into a likely Democratic, likely Harris win. So these three counties are very crucial. So why am I saying this? Why does this matter? Well, let's look at the margins for this election versus the 2021 Virginia governor election when Glenn Youngkin won. The Republican won 50.6% to McAuliffe's 48.7%. Youngkin was able to win a very close election, getting about 63,000 votes margin of victory in the state, about 63,000 votes. Let's take a look at the Northern DC suburbs. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here, and we're going to look at these areas. I'm going to scroll down a little more. Here they are, okay? First, again, we're going to start with Loudoun County. Loudoun County, McAuliffe won 55.3 to 44.2. So the percentages are massively different than what Trump and Harris were. The percentages and the numbers are both going to be different because there was less voter turnout, but the percentages are also much different. This was about an 18,000 vote margin of victory for McAuliffe over Youngkin, an 11-point win presidential-wise, or percentage-wise. Again, Loudoun was 17 points for Harris over Trump. So when you look at the way the votes move in terms of percentages, this was about 6 points more for Harris over Trump in 2024. Prince William was 58-40 for Harris over Trump, about 18% win. Youngkin versus McAuliffe, 57% to 42.2%. This was about 14.8% for McAuliffe over Youngkin. So again, quick math here. This is about 23,000 votes, margin of victory for McAuliffe over Youngkin. Loudoun County, about 18,000 votes. 18,000 plus 23,000. Let's see, that's going to be about 41,000 votes or so. 40 to 41,000 votes, margin of victory for the Democrats for Prince William and Loudoun. So those two areas were very, very big. And this is where things really get made here, Fairfax County. Tara McAuliffe won 65% to Glenn Youngkin's 34.5%. So 65, 34.5. Let's look at the numbers. 66 to 31. So Youngkin ran about 3 to 4% better than Donald Trump in Fairfax County than Donald Trump did in Fairfax. Kamala Harris getting 66%. She ran about 2 points better, or about 1 point better than Tara McAuliffe. So there was only about a point difference on the Democratic side of things, but Youngkin was able to get about 4 to 5 points better than Donald Trump did in Fairfax County. And accustomed with voter turnout being down compared to the presidential race, there's less voters, obviously, in an off-year election than in a presidential election. McAuliffe ended up winning here by about 134,000 votes. So 134,000 vote margin of victory in Fairfax County in 2021. 134,000. Again, in the presidential race, this was about 205,000. So that's about 80,000 less votes between 2024 and 2021. Obviously, it's not exactly an apples-to-apples comparison because there's going to be less voter turnout in the governor election than the presidential election, but that actually played into Youngkin's advantage. Not only was there less votes, Youngkin was able to improve by about 4 to 5% in Fairfax County in 2021 compared to what Trump did in 2024. Or rather, Youngkin did about 4 to 5 points better in 21 than Trump did in 24. I'm just reversing it for the sake of this conversation. Loudoun County, similar story. Prince William, similar story. Glenn Youngkin did not win these three counties, but he did marginally better enough where he was able to make up some votes, tens of thousands of votes in each area, and that in combination of what he was able to do statewide, when you look at places like Chesapeake and Virginia Beach that voted for Glenn Youngkin when they did not vote for Donald Trump in 2024, I will show you that really quick. Trump tied Harris essentially statewide, but lost big in the Virginia suburbs, and lost in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake in close elections. Glenn Youngkin, on the other hand, was able to win Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, so Youngkin won statewide by about a point or two, and then he was able to shave off about another percent to 2% in the north, or another like 3 to 4% in the northern DC suburbs of Loudoun, Fairfax, and Prince William. So the point I'm making here is Glenn Youngkin's 4 to 5 point percentage improvements in Fairfax, in Loudoun, and in Prince William was just enough for him to eke out a 1.9% victory in the 2021 Virginia governor's race. So I did that exercise to show you that's how a Republican wins the Virginia governor's race. That's also how, looking at 2024, how a Democrat wins the state of Virginia in a likely Democratic race. And I'm showing you this because looking at the 2025 Virginia governor election, I think it's more likely than not it's going to be very, very close. But if the Democratic candidate does win, they're going to win by a likely Democratic margin or less. They're not going to have a big 15-point win or anything in Virginia. It's going to be probably in between 5 to 15% if the Democrat does win. But if the Republican Winsome Earl Sears can win, it's going to be likely another 1 to 2 point win for the Republicans. So both of those maps I just showed you were a pretty good example of how Virginia would vote depending on which candidate wins. No matter what happens, the northern DC suburbs of Loudoun, Fairfax, and Prince William are going to be absolutely crucial to both candidates' pathways of victory. For the Democrats, they need to try and match the percentages that Harris had over Trump, and no matter what happens in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, if the Democrats can match the percentages of Loudoun, Fairfax, and Prince William, then the Democrats should be able to win Virginia probably by around a lean to likely Democratic margin. If the Republican is able to match Glenn Youngkin's numbers in Loudoun County and Fairfax County and Prince William County, and can do either match or do very similar to Youngkin in Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, then Sears may be able to eke out a very narrow victory in 2025. So the Virginia governor's race, obviously we're months away from it, but it's going to creep up on us very quickly. I want to do this video to highlight those very important areas in what could be a very, very close governor election. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and remember to click subscribe and leave a comment below. Make sure you keep coming back because I post a video every single day, so you're not going to want to miss those. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really, really, really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.